Hey YouTube, today I wanted to show you one of the tractors that I own. This is a Allis Chalmers D17 tractor. This tractor that I own has a front end loader on it. It is a modified front end loader. It didn't used to be fully hydraulic, and now it is. And I believe it came off of a different model of Allis Chalmers tractor and been changed to fit this one. This is a gasoline engine, and it is rated at 63 horsepower. And the benefit of the gasoline is that it will actually start better in the wintertime than the diesel would. So I'm just going to go over just a few features of the Allis Chalmers. This is a lot different tractor than your standard tractor, so I thought I'd go over some of the things that make this tractor different. So one of the big things about Allis Chalmers that's different is it has a totally different style hitch. This is called a snap coupler hitch, and what it has lift arms on top instead of at the bottom. And you can see that it has a standard PTO just like a regular tractor would, but these lift arms, they grab some pins and then they snap shut on there. Okay, so the lift arms are on top instead on bottom. And instead of having a top link, what you have is you've got this little funnel there, and it's got a hook in there. See if I can get a closer look. On the bottom of the tractor, you have this little funnel with a hook that you can release from up on where you drive, and it holds the bottom basic link of the attachment. So let me show you what the attachment actually looks like. Maybe you can kind of understand how this hooks up. Here is the blade for the Allis Chalmers, and as you can see, it has these pins that hook into that snap coupler, those lifting arms that are on top, and then this kind of lifts up and it snaps into there, and that's what lifts the blade up and down. So that's what your lift arms attached to right there. And then on the bottom of the tractor, you have almost like this quick hitch attachment. This kind of slides in and automatically snaps in there, and that hook grabs it, and it just and then your tractor can pull the attachment, and then when you release it, it'll lower that hook, and then you can drive out from underneath it. So that's what the bottom is. That's how the snap coupler works. It's got this kind of quick hitch that's underneath, and then it's got these little top lift arms that you just that just snaps around them to lift the attachment. Now here on the this is on the right side of the tractor where your right leg would be. There's this rod. Now this is what actually, when you push back on this, that's what releases that hook for that quick hitch. So when you pull back on that, that will release that eyelet so that you can pull out from underneath whatever attachment you have on your snap coupler. This is the drawbar for the D17 tractor. So if you want to pull behind some kind of regular pull behind disc or something that needs a standard drawbar, that's what this is. It actually hooks up a little bit differently. It still uses a little quick hitch on the bottom, but it has these different pins, and these pins actually end up hooking up underneath the PTO, and you just pin it in there. So you can either have on a snap coupler attachment or the drawbar, which is kind of another snap coupler attachment. It just doesn't attach to your lift arms. It's just a fixed height. So that's another difference. The drawbar isn't always on the machine. You actually have to put the drawbar on and off the machine. The other major difference in this Allis Chalmers tractor is that it has a hand clutch. This is the hand clutch here. It's on the right hand side of the tractor, and that hand clutch allows you to switch into high speed and low speed. So low is back and high is forward. So the way you operate this tractor is you would leave this in neutral. You could push in your foot clutch on the left hand side, shift that into whatever gear you wanted, and then let out on your foot clutch, and then from there to start moving you could pull this back into low, and it will, you know, it'll be just like having a foot clutch. It'll just ease. You can control the speed by how quickly you pull that back. So then you can ease into low gear, and then if you want to go faster, then you can shift back to neutral and go into high gear while you're driving. So you can shift from high to low while you're driving, and you control actually your clutch with your hand instead of with your foot. You just really use the foot to put it into gear, and then you actually start going forward, and by controlling this hand clutch. So that's the other major difference in this tractor that differentiates it from most other tractors. Now I just want to go over some of the general features of the tractor. The tractor doesn't have an alternator on this tractor, it's a generator. So you have to have your engine at a high RPM for it to charge the battery. If you run this engine at idle, it can actually drain your battery if you do it for an extended period of time. So this has a generator and not an alternator. You got your oil filter and your oil dipstick here. It's on the right hand side of the tractor. Over here you got this is your hydraulic dipstick, and where you fill your hydraulic oil right there. This rod right here is how you set your brake, and it's right here, and you're flipping this wedge into the pedals, and then you got to flip it back out to release the brake. So this is your emergency brake. Okay, as we look here at the steering wheel, you'll see this steering wheel actually has 3 levers, and the way I understand it, this right here is your hydraulics, whether your hydraulics is on or not. If you pull this out of that hole right there and pull it down, that disables your hydraulics. That's I believe you can disable that to help relieve pressure if you want to mess with your hoses. This here is your throttle, and right now that would be idle, and then all the way to the right would be high speed of your engine. This here is some kind of traction control or something like that. I was told just to leave it all the way on the whole time. So it's I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it's something to do with traction boost, I believe is what they call that. Here's the speedometer on the tractor. It's been replaced. This tractor has way more than 45 hours on it. That's just how many it's had on it since it's been replaced. But there's a different scale for each gear that you're in, so you have to know which gear you're in, and then you look at that scale for the appropriate speed that you're going. Over here, this is the left hand side of the tractor. This is your left foot clutch, and the left foot clutch is what you have to push in, you know, to shift your gears. But one of the other things that it does is when you push in on this clutch, you lose control of your hydraulics. So it also kills the hydraulics. I mean, it's not like your attachments are going to drop or anything. You just lose control with your levers. So that's the only thing that's one feature I don't like either, because if you push in on this clutch because you're used to other tractors instead of using the hand clutch, then you can't raise or lower the bucket or your rear attachment. This lever right here, this is your PTO engage, and to engage that PTO, it's not, you have to push in on the foot clutch. So you push in on the foot clutch and it engages that gear, and then your transmission and your PTO are kind of linked. So that's the only thing I don't like, because what happens is if once you're in gear and you want to change speeds and you want to change to a different, you have to push down on this foot clutch, but you can't get that gear to shift until the mower stops spinning, because it's still spinning, causing the gears in the motor to, you know, your transmission to spin. So that's one thing I don't like, is that kind of links them together, and you just can't engage and disengage your PTO on the move. You have to completely stop the tractor and engage the PTO. So the PTO function on this tractor I'm not real fond of, so I normally actually mow with my other tractor, and I just use this one for regular pull behind attachments. The last major feature on this left hand side is this knob right here. This knob right here is your choke. That rod goes forward, and on this left hand side is your carburetor, and it turns your choke. So when you go to start your tractor, you're going to have to pull back on that to choke it, and it's spring loaded. When you let go of it, it's going to go ahead and go back and reset. So you're going to have to engage this choke and get the engine running, and then let go of it to go back to not choked. But that's pretty much the differences on the Allis Chalmers D17 tractor. I do like this tractor because it has the lower 28-inch wheels. So the tractor sits lower, and then this tractor actually has power steering, so this thing, it drives like a breeze. And my other tractor is not power steering, and you just kind of fight it the whole time if you're going slow. So that's the Allis Chalmers D17. Thanks for watching.